Hi everyone! This is how to multiply rationals.
The process of multiplying two rational numbers is by multiplying the denominator and numerator, and the result that you got is you need to simplify it by canceling out the common factor. To do this, you need to multiply the coefficient, which is the number outside, and the radicands, which is the number inside, separately. And next, you need to combine or solve them together, and after you got the result, you need to simplify it. But what if the index is different but the radicand's the same? I've got you. There's just 5 steps to solve this problem. The first step is to convert to fractional exponent. The second is to find the LCD. And the third is to apply the product rule. And the fourth is to convert back into the radical form. And next, the last step is number 5, which is to simplify. But what if the radicand is different, but the index is same? I've got you. There's just 3 steps to solve this problem. The first step is to check the index. You need to check it to know if the index is both the same or not. The second is to multiply the radicands. And lastly, is to simplify, which is the third step. We will give you more examples for you to understand it further.
Good day everyone! Today, we're going to solve cube root of 8 times cube root of x. First, we're going to evaluate the cube root of x. What number multiplied by itself 3 times equals 8? So it will be 2 times 2 times 2 is equals to 8. So our cube root of 8 is going to be cube root of 8 equals to 2. Second step. Now, the expression becomes 2 times cube root of x. Final simplified form is 2 cube root of x. So, our final answer is cube root of 8 equals 2 cube root of x.
Hello! I'll be doing the second example, which is the fourth root of 16x squared multiplied by the fourth root of 2x. For this equation, the first step is we have to check if the radicals have the same root index. This equation has both fourth roots, fourth root of 16x squared and the fourth root of 2x. Since the index is the same, we are allowed to combine them into one single fourth root. Therefore, it will become fourth root of 16x squared times 2x. Now that it is under or in the same radical, we will multiply the coefficients 16 and 2. So multiply 6 times 2, the answer will become 32. Then the next, we will add the exponent because we are multiplying with the same base. So x squared times x is equal to x squared plus 1 equals x cubed. So the final answer of this equation is fourth root of 32x cubed.
Hi, I'm Freya, and I'll be explaining how to solve the third problem.
So, our problem is 3 third root of 6a multiplied by 2 sixth root of 6a. So, the first thing we're going to do is turn these radicals into their exponential form. So, 6a raised to 1 over 3 multiplied by 6a raised to 1 over 6. Following the basic law of exponents, since these two have the same base, we can now just multiply their exponents. With 6 being the LCD, 6 divided by 3, 2 times 1. 6 divided by 6, 1 times 1, still 1. And we would get 3 over 6. And we can simplify this further by dividing it by 3. So this is going to be 1/2. And then our product would basically just be 6a raised to 1/2, which in radical form is 6a squared. And then after that, we just multiply these two whole numbers, and then we get 6. Attach this, we get our answer, which is 6a squared. That's it.
Good day, my name is Selena Uy, and I will be explaining the last example for multiplication of radicals. For our equation, it is 4 fourth root of 16x raised to 6 y squared multiplied by fourth root of 2x squared and y. So, since our terms have the same indices, we don't need to make it any more complex. What we need to do is to simplify the terms. Now, since 16 is a fourth root of 2, we can simplify that to 2 raised to 4. And then x raised to 6 can be divided into two parts, which is x raised to 4 and x squared. And the y squared will be kept as is since we don't really have a number or an exponent rather that can be cancelled by 4 since 2 is a lesser number than 4. So what we have left is 4 fourth root of 2 raised to 4 times x squared times x raised to 4 times y squared. Now 2 raised to 4 and x raised to 4 can be cancelled since 4 as an index and 4 as an exponent will contradict each other. So we are left with 2 and x. Now those two variables or coefficients will be distributed to the base, which is 4. Now 2 times 4 will give us 8, and 8 times x will give us 8x. And what we have left inside the radical sign will be x squared and y squared. For the first term, we have 8x fourth root of x squared y squared. Now, for our second term, we can't really simplify anything since none of those values are fourth roots, so we can skip the simplifying part. Now, after simplifying our terms, we can now multiply them, which will be easier since the values have lessened. So what we have now is 8x fourth root of x squared y squared multiplied by fourth root of 2x squared and y. To multiply that, we multiply the ones inside the radical sign. So 2x squared y multiplied by x squared y squared will give us a value of 2x raised to 4 y cubed. Now, since we have a fourth root and x raised to 4, they will cancel out each other because, again, they contradict each other. So, we have left is 8x squared fourth root of 2y cubed. How did we get that answer? Well, we canceled out the 4 from x inside the radical sign. And x times x will give us an x squared, which is how we got x squared in the first place. And now we are left with 2y cubed inside the radical sign. And that is all for the last equation of multiplication of radicals. Thank you for watching this vlog, and I hope you all understood the lesson. Thank you!